Welcome to another watch along for the NFL playoffs. Last game of the wildcard round. So we're ready to get right into it. Basically, it's the Minnesota Vikings playing the LA Rams. It's supposed to be the Minnesota Vikings at the LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. But unfortunately, due to the fires in California, or the wildfires, basically, this had to be moved to Glendale, Arizona. So, does that mean that the LA Rams lose their home advantage playing in Arizona? That's going to be interesting to find out. I'm not sure. That would be actually interesting to see if Minnesota actually have more fans in the stadium than LA. That would be interesting to find out. But yeah, the game is about to start here. It's 0-0. Game hasn't started yet. Anthem and all the other pre-game formalities are done. So that would be interesting to see. Just waiting for this to actually get started here. I'm excited about that. Just getting ready. I'm going to talk about the games yesterday. Oh, well. I'll be taking a look at the games yesterday. Watch briefly. Jaden Daniels came through for Washington. But kind of just taking a look here. Game about to start. And we're going to get right into it. All right, so the players are getting ready. LA Rams will be getting the ball first, so that should be fun. I kind of like this game. I think there are two offenses that can bring it. Coaching wise, two excellent coaches, two excellent young coaches, in Kevin O'Connell and Sean McVay. Sean McVay, the Super Bowl winning coach already in his career, so that should be fun. Okay, there we go. Pukanakua with the first. I think that's the first play of the game. I think they're going to be feeding Puka a lot in this game, so that should also be fun as well. Are they going to be using Kyron Williams a lot? Okay, second play of the game, you get Kyron Williams for about a couple of yards. 0-0 should be interesting. Got a play-by-play going here. That's not. Okay, so the play-by-play on there is not showing up, so I'm gonna do a little play-by-play on the game here. See how that goes. So the game right now it's at 0-0. LA Rams got the ball to start the game. They're close to actually scoring at the moment. So where is this now? So the LA Rams. So it's currently 4th and 1. So I think Sean McVay is gonna go for it. It's 10:54 to go in the game, and they're gonna go for it on 4th and 1 at the 10-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh, I think they tried to draw a flag from the Vikings. Was that successful? So that should be interesting to see here if that was a successful flag. Yes, that was. Oh, that's a bad mistake for the Minnesota Vikings. Oh my goodness, 4th and 1, and a defensive lineman just basically just jumped offside and gave them an easy first down. Five. So basically, it's now first and goal from the 6-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. So getting ready for Matt Stafford here to snap the ball. Still waiting for this ESPN play-by-play to kind of put that on the screen. But we're gonna see. Okay, touchdown. Touchdown to Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams has been fantastic all year, but this is a touchdown pass from Matt Stafford to Kyron Williams. So not of the Russian variety for Kyron Williams. So Matthew Stafford, 6-yard passing touchdown to Kyron Williams, and definitely the defensive lineman Ballard would be wondering what is actually going on right now, how they actually basically screwed that all up. That's wild. Okay, so 6-0 the score in that game. I'm waiting for the extra point. So gonna try to update the score line here. Let's see. Few extra point is good, and touchdown, 7 points for the LA Rams. So gonna see. So they're now on commercial break. Gonna take a look. ESPN play-by-play still not available. So unable to get that play-by-play on screen here. Gonna do a little bit of play-by-play. While I kind of see if this play-by-play is gonna be on here, we're gonna take a quick look at the games yesterday. And this time I'm gonna put that on screen. So Denver Broncos. So the Denver Broncos basically beat up on the Buffalo Bills beat up on the Denver Broncos 31-7. We're waiting for the LA Rams game to come back. So Minnesota Vikings on offense will be getting their first possession of the game. I just wanted to go down here. The box score: James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards. Josh Allen, 8 carries, 46 yards. Ty Johnson, 9 carries, 44 yards. And Bo Nix, 144 yards passing with 1 touchdown to Troy Franklin. I think that was a 43-yard touchdown pass to Troy Franklin in that game. Yeah, so the Buffalo Bills are basically onto the divisional round, and they're going to be playing at home the Baltimore Ravens. Still, let's see, is play-by-play available yet? Nope, still no play-by-play yet for the Rams versus Vikings. They should be coming out from the break soon. Okay, just waiting for the Minnesota Vikings to come back from that break against the Rams. 7-0 Rams. And I'm just gonna go here. Can't get those starts yet. No play-by-play, no box score update yet on ESPN 4. The game between the LA Rams and Minnesota Vikings. Could it have something to do with the location changing and the inability to get those that box score in real time for this game? So the Vikings are back out. So in this game, in the first drive of the game, we know Matt Stafford hit Puka Nakua for a big gain, for a big pass. And then the biggest play in that game was a 4th-and-1 on the 10-yard line of the LA Rams, of the Minnesota Vikings. And the Rams basically drew an offside from a defensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings and were able to, 1st-and-goal from the 6-yard line, get a passing touchdown from Matthew Stafford to Kyren Williams, the running back. So they're back. The Minnesota Vikings are basically getting their first possession offensively on the game, and 1-yard loss running for Aaron Jones. So we'll see. I expect Justin Jefferson to be targeted a lot, but Jordan Addison has also been playing really well for the Minnesota Vikings. So we'll see. 2nd-and-11 at the Minnesota 29-yard line. So drop back. That pressure is coming, and the pressure got to Sam Darnold sack from big. I think that's number 91 for the LA Rams, but that definitely looks like a defensive lineman, not an edge rusher. Probably not. Ooh, that was some serious rush. Number 0 got to the quarterback and then finished off by another lineman on there. So that might be a half sack each for both players for the LA Rams. So it's 3rd-and-21 for the Vikings. You just don't want to make a big mistake here. So let's see what actually happens here. Sam Darnold throws the ball to JJ, Justin Jefferson. He gets about 10 yards, and gang tackling. There's about 5 guys basically bringing him down for 4th down for the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm expecting they're going to be punting 4th-and-9, so they're going to be punting the ball back to the LA Rams. So the Rams defense coming up big here on 3rd down. Let's see. Do we have no box score on here yet? And no play-by-play. So gonna just still be watching the game. They're gonna be going after this point, a little break, and we'll be back. Okay, I was taking a look while we get the LA Rams to come back. While we get the LA Rams to come back, I was taking a look at the NFL games. On here, I did do a live, basically a watch along for the Houston Texans versus the LA Chargers. And later that day, King Henry basically went off, and we'll take a look at the box score for King Henry going off and basically going off on the Steelers. And that was a blowout. That game ended 28-14, but I think it was closer. So we're going to take a look at that. Ravens versus Steelers. Basically box score and information, and we're going to be right back here to these Minnesota Vikings LA Rams. Right now it's 8 minutes and 10 seconds into the first quarter in the LA Rams. I would say Minnesota Vikings at the LA Rams. It's basically in Arizona, but yes, we would still say at LA Rams. They are still considered the home team irrespective of location for being the they're basically considered the home team in this case. So we're gonna go back. So actually, LA Rams are division champs. They actually won the division. Before we go to that Steelers, the game is back. It's 8:02. Matt Stafford comes into the game and throws an absolute laser. It's at the LA Rams 45. Yes, now we got our play-by-play for the LA Rams game. I don't have to be on the full screen anymore on this. Okay, so first set of plays, touchdown for the LA Rams. You got a punt, 3 and out for the Minnesota Vikings, and the LA Rams 2 plays. 2 big plays already. First play was a Matt Stafford pass to Demarcus Robinson for 23 yards, and second play was another long pass also from Matt Stafford as well. That should be coming up here. So we're gonna see. So now we're gonna get right into it. So basically, the LA Rams are just moving the ball easily against this Vikings defense. So what's happening with this Brian Flores defense? They're putting the heat, but the passes are coming out real quick. That's a short pass here to Kobe Parkinson from Matt Stafford again. So it's 2nd and 3 at the moment. I think they're already in Viking territory right now. Yep, the play-by-play is slow, so all the information is now coming in here at good pace, but the Rams are basically just moving the ball at will and not actually in the ground game. They're actually throwing the ball. It seems quick passes, and the receivers are basically just winning for the LA Rams. So it's 2nd and 3 at the Minnesota Viking 38-yard line, it seems. So they hand the ball off to Kyron Williams, and that's a long run, almost at the 20-yard line. He nearly fumbles the ball, but an offensive lineman picks it up for the LA Rams. So Kyron Williams with almost a 20-yard run here to around the 20-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. That's a long run. He did fumble the ball, but it was recovered by Puka Nacua. So saves the Rams from, that was a strip at the 21-yard line, and then Puka Nacua basically picks up the ball. So the Rams 1st and 10 at the Minnesota Vikings 21-yard line. So drop back, that seems to be to the tight end again. That's almost a 10-yard pickup. Gang tackling. About four guys and flags at the end of the play. That could be a personal foul on the Minnesota Vikings after Tyler Higbee with a 9-yard run. So let's see what those flags are about. Those flags came at the end of the play. So that should be interesting to see. Yeah, the play-by-play thing on ESPN is not working right now. Well, it didn't start very well. Still not working right now. So we're just gonna. The score is correct though. It's 7-0. But I guess. So the officials basically just kind of figuring out what those flags are gonna be. Tyler Higbee gets brought down to the floor after a 9-yard run. Okay, so it's 2nd and 16. So the penalty was against the LA Rams. So 2nd and 16 at about the 28-yard line, and incomplete pass down on the flats to the running back. Okay. So I think the personal foul was on the LA Rams at the end of the play after Tyler Higbee had a 9-yard run. So that's LA basically shooting themselves in the foot. This looked like an easy drive trying to go for a touchdown, but now they are backed up. It's 3rd and 16 at the 30-yard line. And let's see if they can actually make a big play here. So Matt Stafford backs up, quick pass to the tight end. Don't tell me if this is Cooper Kupp. That's Cooper Kupp, not a tight end. Actually, this is Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee with the catch on 3rd and 16. They didn't get the first down. I think that's about 11 yards. So that puts you at 4th and 5th. And they should be going for a field goal here to go up 10-0. So Josh Caddy, the kicker for the LA Rams, out here for a 34-yard attempt. So let's see. Would that be good? Yes, that's good. So 10-0 for the LA Rams. And we're going to update the score on here. So 10-0 Rams. Okay, the play-by-play on ESPN is not working. So I want to take that out. But we're going to go back to it actually. Just to take a look at the Baltimore Ravens beatdown of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So look here, Russell Wilson had 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 175 yards for 2 touchdowns as well, 16 of 21. Efficient passing, but not good enough for the Steelers. But Derrick Henry on here, 26 carries, 186 yards for 2 touchdowns. So Derrick Henry basically does what King Henry does and sealed and won this game comfortably. This was 21-0 at halftime for the Ravens. So just methodically ended this game yesterday, January 12th, 2025. So that was basically the story of the Ravens Wildcard matchup against the Steelers. So next week they face up the Buffalo Bills. And now let's take a look at how the Buffalo Bills got the job done. Basically controlled this game throughout, 31-7 for a little stretch. At the end of the first quarter, the Denver Broncos were up 7-0, but that's all she wrote for the Denver Broncos in this game, as the Buffalo Bills took control of this game and dominated. Bonix, 13 of 22, 144 yards. the Denver Broncos really don't have much of a passing game. So, I mean, much of a rushing game. So they didn't do much in total. Rushing 17 of carries for 79 yards. Passing 14 catches, 159 yards with Cortland Sutton, 5 receptions, 75 yards. Curtis Samuel, 3 receptions, 68 yards for the Buffalo Bills, 1 touchdown. And Khalil Shakir, 6 receptions, 61 yards in that game as well. Most of Curtis Samuel's yards came on one play for 55 yards. So, and now to the next game that day was basically defensive slugfest between the Green Bay Packers. So they're still in a commercial timeout. Vikings should get the ball soon. So that game isn't back yet. Just taking a look at this Green Bay Packers wildcard playoff game versus away to the Eagles. Poor game generally by both quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, 13 of 21, 131 yards. Kind of had 2 touchdowns to Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson. Kind of, I wouldn't say that's a poor game. 13 of 21, 2 touchdowns, 131 yards, not a lot. But rushing, Saquon Barkley dominated, 25 carries for 119 yards. So the game is back. The Vikings are on the ball right now. They're down 10-0. They're down 10-0. It's 2nd and 7 from the Vikings 33-yard line. Fake to the running back. Sam Donald throws to Aaron Jones, the running back, about 5 yards there. So it's going to be about 3rd and long 2 for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's 3rd and 1. Sam Darnold gets the ball, throws the ball down left, and that's a catch for number 3 for the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's Jordan Addison. Ooh, is that a catch? I think they're going to have some replays here to make sure that that is actually a catch. So 2nd and 2 for the Vikings. And yep, JJ shows up. So that's a deep throw down the right-hand side for Justin Jefferson. That would be about a 23-yard reception for Justin Jefferson. Let's see if we got a play-by-play back here for this game. Still pretty slow. There are 6 plays, 39 yards so far, but no information on exactly the stats for those plays. Let's see here. Still behind. So the play-by-play not helping much. So we're going to go back to the game. It's 10-0 right now in favor of the LA Rams. So we're going to go back here. And so it's 2nd and 17. So second and 17 pass for Sam Donald. He finds CJ Hawkinson. And it's going to be third down and 10 for the Vikings. They are currently right now at the 24-yard line of the Rams. So at least they should be able to get a field goal unless they get a turnover right here at this part of the field. So it's the end of the first quarter. It's Minnesota Vikings 0, LA Rams 10. At the end of the first quarter. Yes, I'm going to go back to reviewing the NFL games here. So we did the Broncos at the Green Bay Packers at the Eagles. They were won comfortably. The Eagles controlled this game. So at halftime, it was 10-0 in favor of the Eagles. And they just sorted away this game and won comfortably, even though they played pretty poorly in this game. Their defense actually came through for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jaden Reed, 4 catches, 46 yards. Josh Jacobs, 3 catches, 40 yards receiving. Josh Jacobs, 18 carries, 81 yards with 1 touchdown. Not a very eventful game, but the better team in the Eagles won, and he's heading to the divisional playoffs. And then the last game for last night between the Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ended with the Commanders winning on the last second field goal by Zane Gonzalez, the kicker. The Washington Commanders quarterback had a good game, actually, better than a good game, 24 of 35 in his playoff debut as a rookie, 268 yards, 2 touchdown passing, 1 to De'Ami Brown, and the other 1 to Terry McLaurin, who each had 89 yards catching or receiving for the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels had 13 carries, 36 yards as well. To add to that, Baker Mayfield, 15 of 18, very efficient, 185 yards, not a lot of yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 to Mike Evans, who had 92 receiving yards, and 1 to Bucky Evans, the running back, who had 17 carries and 77 yards as well. So Commanders head over to the divisional playoffs as well. And we're going to come back here to the Rams Vikings game. Yeah, I'm just going to just take a quick look. The Rams Vikings game, the second quarter is about to start. You can see the Commanders box score versus the Bucks. Jaden Daniels was impressive. Okay. Play by play, still not. It's end of the first quarter. Let's see if we get this play by play actually going here. So it's Justin Jefferson with another catch from Sam Donald to start the second quarter. So we're going to see. I think it's 4th down for the Minnesota Vikings. So 4th down for the Minnesota Vikings, and they're going to attempt a field goal, and they're going to attempt a field goal here, 34-yard field goal. And it's good. So right now it's the Vikings 3 and the LA Rams 10. And we're in the second quarter, 14 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in the second quarter for that. So during a commercial break, I'm just going to wait for that to come back. Ooh, there's a big play in the game. Okay. It seems like there's a defensive touchdown here. There might be a defensive touchdown here, a strip. Oh, okay. This could just basically give the Vikings a tie game, or that looks like a pass. The Vikings picked up what looked like a fumble and returned it for a touchdown. It's currently being reviewed. It seems Matt Stafford might have gotten that away and passed the ball instead of a strip. 4. Matt Stafford on there. So just waiting on a replay for that to see exactly what this is going to be called for. It's currently 10-3. If that's a defensive score, that would put that at 10-9. And if the extra point is good, 10-10. It's just waiting on the replay for that. It seems the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, and that will be second down for the LA Rams. So the LA Rams get a good break or a lucky break and not concede a defensive touchdown. So they will get a chance, 2nd and 10 for the LA Rams. The Vikings defense will get back on the field for that. So I think they reversed that call, that fumble for a touchdown call. And it's going to be an incomplete call or incomplete pass for Matt Stafford and the LA Rams. So it's currently 14-17 in the second quarter. Just waiting for the 2nd and 10 play here in that game. Second and 10. I think that's a pass to DeMarcus Robinson and Kevin O'Connor looking for possibly a pass interference, but it's going to be 3rd and 10. I'm not sure what the coach of the Vikings is arguing about. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the LA Rams. They are their own 30-yard line. So either first down or they'll likely have to punt the ball away. So Matt Stafford drops back, passes the ball, broken up by the Minnesota Vikings cornerback, Puka Nacua. I think that's their excellent cornerback on here for the Vikings. I think a former first-round pick too. Oh, okay. So 3rd and 10, that was Stephon Gilmore with the breakup. So it's going to be a punt for the Rams and the Vikings, basically. Top. So it's currently Minnesota Vikings 3, LA Rams 10, and the Vikings are going to be getting the ball back from their own 27-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10, currently a timeout at the Minnesota Vikings 27-yard line. So we'll see. So timeout here. 13:58 to go in the second quarter. And the Minnesota Vikings are down 3-10 to the LA Rams. We might have a game. This was 0-10 a few moments ago, nearly 10-10 with a fumble recovery for a touchdown, which was reversed. So that would be interesting to see. So let's take a look at the divisional matchups already set. As of right now, is a wild card round. Divisional round matchups that are already set up. We got the Texans going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. And we got the Washington Commanders going to Detroit to play the Detroit Lions in the divisional playoffs for the NFC. Right now, we know that the Buffalo Bills is going to play the LA Rams at home. Actually, Buffalo Bills is going to play the Baltimore Ravens at home, and the Philadelphia Eagles at home would play the winner of the Minnesota Vikings versus at the LA Rams, being played in Glendale, Arizona. So Aaron Jones with a big run, 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. That gets about 13 yards for. So Aaron Jones about 13 yards for the first down. So we're gonna just take a look. So it's 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 40. So Aaron Jones again with a 7-yard run for the Minnesota Vikings. Former Green Bay Packer Aaron Jones. I'm not sure. Did he? I know Josh Jacobs had a better year than Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs of the Green Bay Packers. So Aaron Jones right here with the Minnesota Vikings, kind of leaving the Green Bay Packers to join the Vikings as a free agent. Oh, that's a sack. That's a sack. That's a sack for the LA Rams on Sam Darnold. I don't think he saw. That seemed like either a corner blitz or a safety blitz. So 3rd down and 15 at the Minnesota 35. Sam Darnold tries to target Justin Jefferson, and that almost looked like an interception. Got away with that. So it's 4th and 15. They're probably going to punt the ball back to the LA Rams. So after a 65-yard point by the Minnesota Vikings, there's a penalty on the floor. Is that a roughing or running into the kicker? It seems it's a roughing the kicker, 15 yards, 1st down. That's a bad special teams play for the LA Rams. That brings the Vikings offense back into the pitch to continue their drive and try to get points on this drive. So screenplay for Minnesota to Justin Jefferson. What a great tackle from the Rams. Number 4. So Justin Jefferson currently four receptions, 42 yards in the game. So having a very good game, on pace to go over 100 yards as you would expect. Oh, that seems like an interception. Sam Donald was kind of hit a little bit while trying to release the ball, and it does seem that he kind of threw. He didn't get all the force he needed on the throw, and that was picked off on the right hand side by the LA Rams. So that's a turnover for the Vikings and back to the LA Rams. So, well, there was a roughing the kicker that gave the Vikings, that was a pass to Jordan Addison as well. That was basically undercut by the defender. A chance for the Minnesota Vikings to get closer to the Rams. They got a roughing the kicker, got a chance to keep going, and Sandana throws an interception to Durant for the LA Rams. So it's a timeout, it's a commercial break on there. So let's see. So it's seven. Basically, it's 7 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's third and three for the Vikings. A few opportunities here. I feel like both teams are not taking it. The Vikings are at their own 17-yard line. It's third and three. And Donald steps back, a throw to the. That's a beautiful throw. I think that's TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, so number 87, TJ Hawkinson with the catch for 16 yards. Right now, they're at the Minnesota 33. So first and 10 for Minnesota. Hands the ball off to Aaron Jones on the left. That's a big run for Aaron Jones. That should be over 20 yards. Actually, not Aaron Jones. That's Cam Akers. Cam Akers for 26 yards to the LA Rams 41. You just assume that any running back is going to be the number one running back. Cam Akers doesn't have a dread, though. But that was Cam Akers for 26 yards to the LA Rams 41. Sam Darnold steps back, passes right. Caught by a tight end. Now there's some controversy going on here if the ball came out at the end of the play. This might be a turnover against the Minnesota Vikings. The LA Rams might actually take control of the football here. So at the end of the play, kind of being reviewed right now to see if it's a turnover, it seems the knee of Josh Oliver actually was down before the ball was ripped off of his hand by the LA Rams defenders. So the Vikings might retain the ball here for a 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4. We'll see. They're taking a little time to actually review the game. And I'm just going to talk about the Cowboys letting go of their quarterback, McCarthy, and while just for a minute. So I was just reading. I'm actually going to pull up the story for that. So if you're not aware, the so-called America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, is parting ways with their coach, Mike McCarthy. So I think his contract was already up. So this is not much. We're just reading NFL news while the game actually is on a commercial break between the Vikings and the LA Rams. The Vikings moving towards getting closer in points to the LA Rams. Article here from ESPN. Mike McCarthy will not return to the Dallas Cowboys. Head coach in 2025, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, announced Monday today. McCarthy's contract with the Cowboys expired last Wednesday, but the team held an exclusive negotiating window with the coach until Tuesday at midnight, which is tomorrow. So, according to the statement by Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, over the past week, Mike and I had the opportunity to conduct a joint review of all aspects of the past season, our players and staff, and also spend considerable time discussing the road forward for the team. These discussions were thorough and received an appropriate amount of time and depth to cover. Jones, the Cowboys owner and general manager, said in the statement, Jerry Jones is the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. I knew he kind of played that role, but I thought his son, Stephen Jones, was the one that was doing that. So I guess Stephen Jones has a different role on the Dallas Cowboys. Prior to reaching the point of contract negotiations, though, it became mutually clear that it would be better for each of us to head in a different direction. I thank Mike and wish him, his wife, Jessica, and their family the best. They have been a wonderful part of our community here. Jones added that the Cowboys will begin the search for the team's next head coach immediately. McCarthy is expected to interview this week for the Chicago Bears head coaching job, which they had asked permission about a week or so ago, and the Dallas Cowboys said no. Last week, yeah, initial request for permission and was denied by the Cowboys. The New Orleans Saints are also expected to interview McCarthy. He had his options, guys. So he knew if he was leaving the Cowboys, there were options out there. That makes it easier to actually not resign with the Cowboys and kind of um, it's good to have options. That's what that means. Mm. Also, in current news, Mike Vrabel was hired by the new. Okay, there's a big play here right now in the Minnesota Vikings game versus the Rams. There seems to be, as at right now, a touchdown for the LA Rams. Looks like the Vikings offense has done it again in terms of wanting to squander the game. Um, let's see, because it was 3rd and 7 at the LA Rams 38. Sam Darnold goes back, gets sacked. That's definitely a sack. So he gets sacked, he fumbles the ball. It's picked up by an LA Rams uh, defender, specifically Jared Verse. I think he's a rookie or a second-year player. No, rookie. Picked up and returned for a touchdown for the LA Rams. So right now, it's 16-3 and just waiting on the extra point. That's going to be 17-3 on a defensive touchdown for the LA Rams. What I can say is that Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. Has had a fantastic year, but this little mistakes, throwing a pick, been now a fumble for 6 yards. Kevin O'Connell must be devastated after having such a season that the Minnesota Vikings has had the excellent coaching job. Sam Darnold is trying to do some Darnold things after having a fantastic year. In some people's polls, a top 5 player as well. Sam Darnold is doing some Darnold things. Okay, this is cool. It seems that there's a group of players that are actually, or a group of people watching the game from SoFi Stadium um, on a screen. So that's actually cool. Um, if you can't make it all the way to Glendale, Arizona, I think that's a good idea. Fill up the stadium, get a big screen on there. SoFi Stadium is kind of state of the art anyway. Get a big screen on there and have a watch party. And right now, it's going really well for the LA Rams, 17-3 up on the Minnesota Vikings. So right now, Vikings get the ball again. Good idea. Get the ball out of Sam Darnold's hand. 3-yard run for the Vikings, and 2nd and 7 is going to be coming up soon. Woo. 2 takeaways, 6 tackles for loss for the LA Rams defense. This is so interesting to me because this LA Rams defense, yes, Sean McVay coaches them up. There are a lot of young players on the Rams defense. Is it Sam Darnold that's just basically having a bad, like, come on, another sack, 2nd and 7, and Sam Darnold goes down for a sack. So 5 sacks for the LA Rams defense against Sam Darnold in this game. Is the quick passing game not working? or the offensive line for the Vikings was good all season. This is a really good offensive line. The Rams are not the fiercest defensive line. That seemed like he held the ball too long. There could have been a check down to running back in that play or a tight end. And it's 5 sacks against Sam Darnold. Now it's 3rd and 16. Dangerous time at your own 15-yard line. He steps in the pocket. That's a good play. Squeezes a pass in. I think Justin Jefferson might have saved that one and got the catch on that beautiful throw. Kind of threw the ball down to protect Justin Jefferson as well. Justin Jefferson goes down, makes a really good catch, and it's first down for the Minnesota Vikings. I want this game to be competitive. If there's one thing I want from this game, it's for it to be competitive. I don't get this 17-3 right now and the way the offense for the Vikings is playing. Probably going to end the live stream at halftime. It's almost 2 minutes to go till halftime. Wanted to come into this. I guess this game is going to be close and interesting, closer to halftime for this game. I'm going to use this time is the 2 minute warning. I doubt that they'll snap the ball. 2:02, 2:01, 2 minute warning. They're not going to snap the ball. So I'm going to use this time to talk some NFL news. Two major stories. Mike McCarthy is not coming back for the Dallas Cowboys. Mike Vrabel has been hired by the New England Patriots while this game comes back. Mike Vrabel being hired by the New England Patriots, that's obvious. I think he was a former Patriots player, has a great relationship with the Kraft family, the owners of the New England Patriots. So that was obvious. But it still begs the question why. Well, I guess Gerard Mayo, in my opinion, it was in his contract that he was going to be a head coach. There was no, those are the kind of things you do. And after you do it, you can't wait to get out of it. It's unfortunate for the guy. It might affect how people view him as a head coach in the NFL. He got his opportunity to show a few things, to actually have a reputation as a head coach. But I think that's one of the examples where Bill Belichick leaves and Robert Kraft and the owners of the New England Patriots instantly regret that clause and wish they could get somebody else and could not wait for the first opportunity after 1 year to let it go. Still, I still think it's a good opportunity for Gerard Mayo. Guys, get that. If you have leverage, get those in your clause. He still got a year. He showed people around the league. He developed relationships. He's a one-time head coach currently of an NFL team. In my opinion, his record wasn't too bad. Drake May didn't regress so much as a quarterback in his first year. That roster was a bad roster. He did win some games. So yes, I think it played out how they would like it to play out, but I think Gerard Mayo still has a chance to improve and be whatever he wants to be in the NFL. I don't really think much. I don't really think he had a bad showing or anything like that. I think it's unfortunate that he didn't get a fair shot. You can argue that having that in his contract didn't allow him to get a fair shot because it wasn't an open interview process last year. But I would also argue that for them to put that in his contract, he might have gotten a shot earlier. That actually, that was what made him stay till the end of the tenure for Bill Belichick. So either way, Mike Vrabel is going to be the new head coach there. It's not going to be easy. But if he does what he did in Tennessee, but would he get another Derrick Henry? That would be a good question. A lot of all he did was on the backs of the power and the running game. And on the backs of Derrick Henry. I remember the first couple of years, Derrick Henry didn't even play a lot, but he would like to build that from the running game in New England. Maybe get a first-round pick for running back for New England or the offensive line probably for Mike Vrabel. So the 2 minute warning is done. I'm doing some play-by-play without any visuals. This could be more like a radio thing. No, there's a 317. The Rams leads 317. There's still some visual on it. But right now, they're back from the 2 minute warning. It's going to be second and 10, and then now it's third and 7 after 3 yard pass to TJ Hawkinson, I think. And now it's third and 7. There's a big play. They're on their own 45-yard line, the Vikings. They need to get points. I would say 7 points to get to 17-10. Throws the ball to TJ Hawkinson. That's not a first down. That's around the 50-yard line. And that's not a first down for the Minnesota Vikings. 4th and 2 at the 50-yard line. That's a dangerous one. If you don't get this 4th down, you give the LA Rams a short field to go get 3 points or more points to end the first half. This might not end well for the Vikings. It's 4th and 2. Sam Darnold steps back and he's sacked. Oh my goodness. Sacked at the 42-yard line. The LA Rams right now defense is basically eating up that offensive line, eating up Sam Darnold. It was a 4th and 2. You don't hold the ball on a 4th and 2. You don't get sacked on a 4th and 2. You rather throw a pick on a 4th and 2 at that spot in the game than to get sacked. You release that ball to your running back, to TJ Hawkinson, to Justin Jefferson. You don't get sacked. Kobe Turner, the excellent second-year player, just coming through and just spinning. No. That's you just throw Justin Jefferson fell down. You just throw it to him at his feet, even if he falls down. You float the ball and wait for him. Like you throw a pick, not a pick six, but you do something instead of getting a sack. Now the LA Rams are at the 40-yard line. They have a minute and 26 seconds to get points. Probably going to get at least a field goal without a turnover here. Kyron Williams runs to the left. Would that be Kyron Williams or Blake Corum? That's an assumption that the running back has to be Kyron Williams. Probably it could be Blake Corum, but I would say Kyron Williams runs the ball for about 7 to 8 yards. So it's actually 9 yards. 2nd and 1 for the LA Rams, and there's an injured player, I think, for the Vikings on here after that play. Not for the Rams. Is that Puka Nacua that is down for the Rams? Oof. That's a collision. Puka Nacua a little shaken up, going to the sideline. He's 2nd and 1. I would expect the Rams to run this again, but the Minnesota Vikings takes a timeout just to get a little bit more organized. Woo! That there's some beautiful blitzes, safety blitz, corner blitz. Oh my goodness, it's coming from everywhere. But you got Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson. Are they not beating their players one-on-one? Are you telling me that TJ Hawkinson, is it TJ Hawkinson? Yes, T. Hawkinson. I know Justin Jefferson cannot be covered one-on-one. I even know he cannot be covered 2-on-1. So Donald got to get the ball out. Oh, well. He's been playing really badly. I mean, Sam Donald. Well, the Rams get the first down, push the pace. So it's 50 seconds, 1st and 10. They get the snap off to Mustafa. They bring the blitz. Tries to pass the ball. I think that's an incomplete pass. I think to who was that? It was that to Allen. I think that was a backup tight end. Or is Allen a tight end? I know he played when there were injuries to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. I think might be actually a 3rd or 4th receiver. So screenplay, that seems to be Puka. Gets the screening. Oh my God, Puka Nacua is a beast. That carried about 3-4 players for about 5 yards, but gets about 11 total yards in that play. 28 seconds to go. The time is running. They got a first down. They got to go snap the ball and probably they'll try a play. 19 seconds to go. Quick pass to the middle. That's a touchdown, guys. That's a touchdown. Something it's going really, really bad for the Minnesota Vikings here. Allen actually gets the touchdown. Davis Allen for a 13-yard receiving touchdown on there. This is the time Darnold gotta actually, with the way those blitzes and that defense is coming, this is not going to end well for Sam Darnold because now you can pin your pass rushes back and just calm for him. Absolutely wow. It's going to be 24-3 if this extra point is good. Score update 24-3. And the LA Rams are basically dominating the Minnesota Vikings at the moment. This is a lot. If you're a Vikings fan, this is a lot. You had a wonderful season. You were one game away from being the number one seed and actually getting a bye week, the way the Detroit Lions did, lost that game. And you're out here right now in a neutral field. So we can say the LA Rams have more fans, even though in California they don't have more fans or they don't get more fans in SoFi Stadium. But they're in Glendale, Arizona. Everybody got to adjust. And you're down 24-3 in the Wildcard game after having such a fantastic season and nearly being the one seed, winning your division and having a bye week. And you're playing a 10-7 team after being 14-3 in the regular season. And you're down 24-3. Not expecting this to be an easy game, but to be down 24-3, there's 15 seconds to go. Is there going to be a wild play? Is there going to be a run back for a touchdown? It goes right down the middle. There's a lot of people, and they crash into the floor. You don't even want to risk it. It's 11 seconds to go. It's halftime, basically, in this game. You kneel down. You go rearrange yourselves and all of that, right? So it's been a wild game here. It's 24-3 for the LA Rams. Do I think they can come back? If you're going to give Sam Darnold the whole job to pass you back into the game, I don't think that's going to happen. This team has done very well when they take the lead, and the Minnesota Vikings defense can just put up those blitz and pressures for Brian Flores. Is it possible the coaching interviews for Brian Flores affects preparation? Because if you're being, now this is something I want to talk about. If you're being interviewed or your name is in the conversation for head coaching jobs and you have a game to play to prepare for, your interview would actually affect your preparation. Because if you're going to interview for a team, you want to start knowing about that team, their players, like the kind of questions they're going to ask you. The NFL got to actually think about all these guys' names that are still in the playoffs, because this defense right now for the Vikings, they don't look ready. I'm not going to say it's the coach because the players are not getting interviewed, right? The players are not getting interviewed. You come ready, you come to play, you make plays, but one of the touchdowns is a defensive touchdown, so they didn't give up the full 24 points. But you help your offense in this part. If this game was like 14-3, 17-3, or 24-3, that defense has to do a little bit more to help the offense as well. It's halftime. It's 24-3. The Rams are dominating this game. Don't know what direction this game is going to go. My name is CT. I enjoyed this first half watch along. I'm going to try to finish this game as well, but for the live stream, we're going to end here. I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to increase the music a little bit here for anyone that's watching or gets to watch this. Don't forget to subscribe. Like, you don't have to share the live stream. This is a long, no, this is not a share time. Share the channel though, the City Dice Sports. Like the video, subscribe, follow on social media, check out other content on the channel. There's other content on the channel. There's new stuff coming out as well. There's a Fantasy Premier League soccer show. There's a football show with Daniel. I got Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is on the channel. That's still ongoing, going great. But either way, it's been fun. It's the first half. The Rams are leading comfortably. Prayers up for everyone in LA dealing with all the wildfire situations. Hopefully that gets sorted out sooner rather than later. As well, we're watching this game is not in California; it's in Arizona. There's a reason for that. The game goes on. The LA Rams don't allow the issues going on around them. They come in here, they're playing hard. That's commendable as well. See how the game goes. A little bit of music, and we're out.